Remember when a movie about summer flings, drag races, and way too tight pants turned into a cultural juggernaut you and your mom still know by heart? That was Grease, the 1978 phenomenon that taught an entire generation that senior year meant leather jackets, synchronized dancing, and changing yourself for love. Very healthy messaging, obviously. Adapted from the hit stage musical, the film launched John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John into pop immortality as Danny Zuko and Sandy Olsen, with Stockard Channing stealing scenes as the razor-sharp Rizzo. But behind the sing-alongs and finger snaps lurk some truly wild stories. Here are the weird, wonderful truths that make Grease even more legendary. First, let's talk age, because Rydell High looked suspiciously like a night class at community college. Hollywood in the late 70s didn't want real teens, it wanted professionals who could sing, dance, and survive brutal shooting days. Channing was 33 playing 17, and that hard-won cynicism Rizzo radiates? You can't fake it. Even Sweet Jan's actress was touching 30 and fighting gray roots that had to be filled in daily, sometimes with literal black crayon. Travolta was only 23, a baby by comparison, while Newton-John, 29, insisted on a screen test to be sure Sandy didn't read "already graduated." The illusion worked because Grease wasn't high school. It was high school remembered a decade later through rose-tinted nostalgia. Then there's the teen angel. That heavenly descent to sing Beauty School Dropout belongs to Frankie Avalon. But the first call went to Elvis Presley. Imagine it, the king of cool, literally floating down to scold Frenchie. Elvis passed, his health was failing, and tragically died in August 1977. The eerie twist? The news broke on, set the very day they filmed Rizzo joking about Elvis during the slumber party. Avalon stepped in and delivered pure bubblegum fantasy, but the Elvis what-if still haunts pop culture. Casting Sandy was nearly a saga of its own. Wholesome icon Marie Osmond walked away because she hated the ending. She didn't believe Sandy should change for Danny. Carrie Fisher was considered too. Director Randall Kleiser even peeked at early Star Wars footage, but couldn't tell if she could sing. Newton-John nearly didn't make it either. She struggled with an American accent, so the script simply made Sandy Australian. Travolta fought for her, calling her every guy's dream, and history snapped into place. A Newton-John also had leverage. She demanded a solo, and the movie didn't have one. Her producer, John Farrar, wrote "Hopelessly Devoted to You" mid-production. By the time it was ready, everyone else had rapped, so Sandy sings alone in the backyard. That contractual footnote became the film's emotional heart, earning Grease its only Oscar nomination and turning the song into a forever karaoke staple. Chaos ruled the finale, too. "You're the One That I Want" didn't arrive until the cast was already on set at a real carnival dropped onto a high school football field. Choreographer Patricia Birch had about 20 minutes to stage the Funhouse dance. The cast heard the song for the first time right there, so the giddy energy you see is real. Meanwhile, poor Eugene actor Eddie Deason rode a spinning attraction until he staggered off and threw up. Hot movie magic! Heat nearly killed the dance contest. Shot over 5 days in a gym with no air conditioning, packed with bodies, lights, wool suits, and industrial hairspray, temperatures reportedly hit 116 degrees. To make matters worse, a nearby slaughterhouse wafted its presence whenever windows cracked. Several cast members suffered heat exhaustion. One landed in the hospital. That movie glow? Survival sweat. The drag race looks slick, but the Los Angeles River is basically a concrete runoff channel. Cast and crew stood in bacterial soup for days. Kleiser cut his foot, spiked a fever, and kept directing. Annette Charles, Cha-Cha, filmed while in severe pain, checked back into the hospital that night, and underwent emergency surgery. On screen, greaser glory. Off screen, grit. Corporate drama even crept into the diner. A Pepsi deal meant Coca-Cola signs had to vanish, so they were optically blurred, old-school style. One cooler slipped through, a relic of the Cola Wars now baked into cinema history. Iconic looks almost didn't happen. Costume designer Albert Wolski initially went realistic, but the filmmakers wanted jukebox fantasy. Enter the Pink Ladies' satin jackets, bold, bright, unforgettable shorthand for rebellion. And Sandy's black pants? Vintage, one of a kind, with a broken zipper. Newton-John was literally sewn into them each day. Bathroom breaks required a seamstress. Those pants later sold at auction for charity, broken zipper and all. Grease conquered the box office, dethroning The Sound of Music as the top live-action musical for decades. The ending, Danny and Sandy flying away in a convertible, still baffles physics. No, Sandy isn't dead. The creators shut that theory down hard. It's just Grease being gloriously weird. Finally, Danny Zuko almost belonged to Henry Winkler. He passed, fearing typecasting after Happy Days. That opened the door for Travolta, who could sing, dance, and turn swagger into art. Winkler later admitted it stung, but Hollywood got the right Danny. Decades later, Grease still lives rent-free in our heads. Which fact shocked you most? And which song do you still belt out in the car?